Thank you for tuning in to Connect More, featuring the shared experiences, new adventures, and nightmares of four pals who have known each other for decades. Connect More utilizes the swear jar concept to raise funds for the American Cancer Society. When you hear this during the episode, the offender will contribute to the swear jar. We'll update the swear jar each week at the end of the program. We hope you enjoy the show.
Hey yo, welcome to another episode of Connect More. I'm Eric. There's John.
Hola.
That's Brian.
Present.
And that's Jason.
Greetings.
And on this episode of Connect More, Brian and I get textual. Jason and John scrape some mold off some oldies but goodies, and then we whip around on good sounds. But let's start with a check-in with everyone. So it's that time of year to step out on the patio and put flame to meat. So what are we grilling out? John, what's the last victim you had on the grill?
Yeah, I've been pretty lame this summer. I've traveled the last couple of weekends, and so I have not had that much on the grill. But we did do something special for my wife's birthday, which was about 3 weeks ago now. And we went to Fairway and got the Tomahawk ribeyes. And this is cut that you drill a hole in the top of the bone and you hang that baby inside our cooker, which is the pit barrel cooker. It looks like a 50-gallon drum, and it hangs in there for 4 or 5 hours over the wood chips, and it comes out fantastic. And they did. We did 2 of them. They were great. Took us all weekend to eat them. I highly recommend the Fairway Meat Market, which is in Beaverdale and Des Moines. Even if you're traveling, come and see that. Hopefully they'll do that in other places. Fairway Meat Market, but it's the Tomahawk ribeyes. Big special event around here.
That is really cool caveman grilling, man.
Yeah, and you
awesome.
Drilled the hole in the bone and everything?
Swear to God, I got my drill out. Yes.
Wow.
No. Yep. Nope. And I've never missed on those. It's it only takes a couple of minutes. It's there is a real caveman aspect to that particular one. It looks like you put it on the serving plate. It looks like the Fred Flintstone at the the drive-through that they go to in the credits of the Flintstones.
And I agree. If you live in Iowa or the Midwest, Fairway, the meat counter is the place to be.
So hopefully that was good enough to get Fairway on board. I did my best, guys.
That was my push as well.
It's your hometown meat market. If that's not their slogan, it ought to be, goddammit.
Can you do that again in a little better radio voice? And we'll just get that. We'll just clip that nugget out.
It's the hometown meat market.
There you go. Yeah, let's give everybody a try.
And isn't the Fairway mascot named Frank?
It is Fairway Frank.
Fairway
Jason's
Frank.
oldest is named Frank.
Yes,
got
he's a classic, like big boy looking, 50s caricature. It's everything that we are. It's a culture fit. We are aligned.
Speaking about Frank and meat departments, and Jason, what's been on your grill lately?
I am a boring griller. I really I'm not very adventurous. Aaron's dad got us one of those big packs of Omaha steak meats for like Father's Day. Like it came packed in the big giant styrofoam cooler, filled with dry ice, filled with brats and hamburgers and pork chops and the whole whoop-de-doo. And we recently dug some hamburger patties out of that big thing, and I threw them on the grill. That's about it. Yeah.
That's cool. That's a generous family with the
there.
Omaha Steaks pack. Everybody's gotten one of those before. And
Aaron's dad's a meat guy. Like he sells meat equipment. He travels all over the state of Iowa and sells like slicers and smokers and all this kind of stuff to little meat lockers and restaurants all over the Midwest. So he always knows where all the good meat is and stuff. And he's a really interesting guy to have around when you have grilling questions.
Well, burgers are the classic, so you can't go wrong there. And hopefully, Omaha Steaks are listening too. Well, we got lots of room for sponsors, people.
Omaha Steaks. Yeah. When you need a steak built to your house, call Omaha Steaks.
We will drive over and we will do whatever we need to do. We'll make an appearance in person to make that happen.
Yeah, I just fired up the Weber grill here this weekend, and one of my favorite things to do on the grill, a lot of people shy away from this, but there's techniques and tricks. But I love pork products over an open flame. So we just did a classic Iowa cut pork chop this weekend. Loved it. Juicy, perfect medium. I love it. But I know a lot of people don't. They don't like the pork because it dries out and stuff. But give me a call. We'll talk about this. There's techniques to this, and it involves taking your time, a little slow cooking on the grill.
So Ruben, you've had an Iowa chop, I know, but Iowa chops are like an inch thick. It's like its own cut. It is what we do best here. You really can get a chop in other parts of the country and realize how different the Iowa version is. I mean, I've had some pretty weak pork chops, particularly in the South, by comparison with what what we can just go over and get in our neighborhood.
Oh, East Coast, horrible. Yeah.
Yeah, they don't have those fairway meat departments.
No.
Brian, would you burn?
Fairway. I'm sorry.
Yeah, this from the guy who used whoop-de-doo in his sentence 2 minutes ago.
I did not go to Fairway for my stuff. So we had bacon wrapped jalapeno poppers due to an abundance of jalapeno peppers this year. We got jalapeno peppers coming our ass this year.
Burner.
Yeah, that doesn't capsaicin. That doesn't sound good. But way to lap the rest of us with your creativity. So I guess you could just hand it to Weenus.
Yep. So we do the cream cheese and shredded cheese, and then a little bit of bacon bits in there. Then you wrap, and then so most people cut them in half, but we actually got the inside. I just slit one side of it, get all the guts out, get all the little flakes out and everything, and get the ribs out, and then you stuff it up, and then you wrap it in bacon, put a couple toothpicks in. It is flavor country.
Bacon goes on late, or bacon's on the whole time it's cooking?
Bacon's on the whole time. That's when the bacon's done, the rest of it's
tricky,
done.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It definitely in indirect heat. Yep.
I think the first time I ever had a jalapeno popper was on the back deck of Larry Van Lanker's house. On the south side of Cedar Rapids. He cooked up. I was like, what the devil is this? What is this glorious? And of course, Larry Van Lanker is a culinary pioneer.
No, he used to shove that hot stuff at us just to watch what would happen.
Well,
there
of
was a
course.
certain morbid pleasure associated with that.
Yep, good stuff. All right, so let's keep the flames burning with some hot chats.
Every once in a while, we say something brilliant, hilarious, or deeply questionable in our group text. And now you're going to hear about it. This is That Group Chat Was Fire, where we bring out the hottest takes, weirdest questions, and biggest disagreements to the table in an emoji-free zone. Yeah, I hate emojis. So our first one is a meme. It was a photo that had two people on it, and it asked the question, what is considered trashy if you're poor, but classy if you're rich? And the memes what was mentioned on that was day drinking, speaking two languages, hard drugs, tax avoidance. But then, of course, we add a few extra ones, such as Eric.
Yeah, I like the one that is that the most expensive thing you have is your car. A classic car. An old car. Yeah.
Is your most expensive thing. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. What was John's?
Oh, definitely a police escort. Very cool if you're wealthy. It goes along with being on a first name basis with a judge. Also works very well if you're rich. Not quite as a thing that you put on your resume if you're poor.
Oh, and another one that got added to the group chat, and I think John was the king of this. When we were going back and forth on our group chats, John just came up with these right one after the other. I don't know what that says about John. But anyway, one of the ones that John dropped in there I thought, too, that was funny was living in a hotel. When you're poor, kind of trashy. When you're rich, very classy. So
And there's a wide range out there, right?
That's right.
Two stars is a generous thing. Those 2 stars do a lot of work in some cases.
And another good one that I liked was not cleaning your own home.
Right.
Oh, I've been on both sides of that, so I'll just leave it like that.
God, this should be a podcast. That's what I was thinking the whole time.
Sure. Yeah,
Only
that's
that
exactly what he
birthed a
thought.
podcast.
Right.
So somebody else have a good comment about these? Or
Yeah, we were just within the last few weeks of when we were recording this, there were quite a few famous people passing away, and I think it was Jason that brought up a smaller celebrity level, but it was the last like regular character of Hogan's Heroes. You had pointed up that he had passed away, and then we got into it. That snowballed into a Hogan's Heroes discussion that I thought was pretty good, and went down the way of talking about Bob Crane, who was the star of the show, and how, of course, they made the movie focus about him, and how he got into video equipment and basically making sex tapes. And I thought, that was interesting. That was super controversial back then.
He was ahead of his time.
If he would have done that today, he would have had a hit reality show within a year.
Totally.
Hogan's Heroes was on early enough in the afternoon that it would be like right after you got home, like the bus would just dump you off. And I know for me, if I'd had a long day at school or afternoon classes I really didn't want to go to, and I really was just looking at getting in front of that TV, it's hard to explain with all of the electronic communication being everywhere now, what that felt like to finally just plop in front of the TV and know that you were going to get a little time to watch those afternoon shows.
Especially Dad would come home and we'd flick on Hogan's Heroes. Maybe Wild Wild West was on. Emergency was on.
The Munsters.
Yeah, I always, I'll never forget, like with Hogan's Heroes in particular. I think I was in grade school probably when I'd come home and watch that on TV. I remember I liked to draw as a kid. I remember drawing a full picture of the whole Hogan's Heroes cast. Like while I was at school, like, oh, there's Colonel Hogan and there's Schultz and I had Carter and LeBeau, and they were all like in a line, and I had them all labeled and stuff. I thought that was so cool. Well, and again, like we had to do that kind of stuff. It's not like you're looking them up on the internet or whatever. So that's just how you passed your time. I had this little tableau of all the Hogan's Heroes characters. Like that's how much it meant to me.
I feel like the Sergeant Schultz stuff made it into our lexicon for like the whole way. Like you can still say that today, right? To the I see nothing, I hear nothing thing. Like everybody.
I use all the time. Yeah.
All the time in the office. I know nothing. And then people just look at you and walk away. They don't even have no idea what we're talking about.
Yeah, the kids don't know anything.
Right, but it's still there.
The kids don't know anything.
I still use it too, and nobody gets it anymore. Yeah.
Hogan. Yeah, that's. It only works if you're holding a riding crop, though. Hogan.
Right. Which you walk around all the time with your riding crop.
I do.
So it's good for you.
My office.
No, bring
mates
back the
love
monocle.
that.
Bring back the riding crop. That's right. These Nazis we have now are nothing by comparison to Colonel Klink.
The Nazis now, they're just not as funny as they used to be.
It's so weak.
Yeah.
It's diet Nazi.
Yeah,
Bring
they're
back
so
the
serious
funny
now.
Nazis. Oh,
They're so serious now. Yeah. Back then, they just missed a lot of shots and, just looked like a bunch of bumbling idiots. But now they seem so accurate. And
well, the rants were better then.
Yes.
I mean, it's all just.
Yes.
These guys couldn't do 2.5 minutes up next to Colonel Klink.
No.
All right. So does somebody else have any examples for group chats we had?
I don't necessarily have anything specific, but
Yeah.
I will say that one of the things I enjoy most about our group chats is when we see something in the news, especially about Iowa politics, and we drop a little note in there, and then flames erupt out of the venom that develops from certain members of our Iowa politics scene. And I learn a lot about what's going on behind the scenes, mostly from John and Jocko about what's going on. And I just find that interesting. I like to kind of light the match and let these guys go, that son of a bitch. What the hell? That guy's dead to me.
It's mostly venom. It's mostly turpentine now. Yeah.
So that's
take
what
the
I
hit on that
enjoy.
one.
I enjoy that about our group chats, just kind of rolling the boulder down the hill and seeing how much momentum it gets.
So the thing I enjoy is the shared hatred of Aaron Rodgers. If there's one thing that we can all four viscerally unite on and really have a great, like the worse that guy's career goes, the closer our bond becomes, right? Like the day he finally quits the league, we're going to have to like burn something in effigy and do some sage or something as a symbol of that our friendship is passing into a new era, because we won't have him to kick around anymore. And just every embarrassing foible that guy steps into, we celebrate at the high, like it's a high holiday, and I appreciate it. I'm thankful for it, and I know it won't last forever.
You can go back in our chats on this subject of Aaron Rodgers and see several times I've actually made a cry for help because that guy just drives me crazy.
He's very triggering.
Yeah, we're going to need a new scapegoat probably next year, guys. We should consider a new list of who's going to be our new scapegoat.
Well, but Aaron Rodgers could still go out and, steal money from a college or a grant or something, right?
Or sign with the Vikings.
Or a state government, or sign with the Jets again. Listen, don't make me give up my dream, Brian.
Is that Aaron Rodgers signing with the Vikings?
It's his destiny.
Right, just the continued Aaron Rodgers saga. Don't let it end.
Yep. We'll wait for McCarthy to break his leg this year, and then that'll be his destiny to go there next year.
God.
That's what's going to happen.
I'm waiting for Mike Tomlin to call a play and send him in, and he doesn't want to go in. That's the moment I'm waiting for.
Please happen. Please happen.
Calls him boy or something.
That'd be
fantastic.
Great.
It'll be fantastic. What number did they give him? What number did he have to settle for? Because Terry Bradshaw ain't letting him use 12.
Oh, that's too bad.
Did he do like 8 or something? What did he have to do? Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, I don't know.
Don't care.
But yeah, I don't care.
I also wanted to bring up our discussion about the Des Moines python that got on the loose last week. I just thought it was more as a public safety thing. It's like anytime you come to Des Moines, hey, look out for the albino python that's wandering around the west side of Des Moines. So
which way do you look for that? Am I looking up in the trees? Am I looking for it coming out of a sewer? Where?
Oh, so that thing's not far from the river. It's not far from any streams. It's in a very wooded neighborhood. That thing could be anywhere.
Have they found it?
No.
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 Do not try to choke the python. Do not try to strangle the python. Do not try to in any way restrict the python, grab the python. You want to leave that alone.
Can I take a selfie with the python?
So the police are doing this funny thing like, hey, if this is your python, call us. And, it's kind of like, hey, come get your cocaine. You're not supposed to have it, right?
It's so true. We looked this up. Brian and I were having lunch together this weekend, and we were sitting around and our lunch table. We all looked up the code of Iowa and what animals are not allowed as pets in the state of Iowa.
Oh, yeah.
By the way, that list is quite extensive. There's not just one section of snakes. There's 2 sections of snakes. There's two classifications of monkeys, apes, gorillas.
Yep.
Your tax dollars at work. If you always wondered what they do up there, this is what they do.
Yep. Saving us from ourselves. That's right.
So, Brian, you mean to tell me during a band name segment you had albino python the whole time and you didn't use it?
I did not use it.
Claimed right here. That's mine.
That's fine. Use it next. That's fine. I like my 12 night stand, so I'll stick with that.
Isn't albino python a little too on the nose for this guy?
I don't know.
Here?
There was.
I mean.
Oh, for him, yeah, no.
I mean, he is the albino python. I mean, come on. There's
AP. It's AP the rest of the way.
All day.
Oh.
Well, there really was like a glass tiger and a steel panther, right? So albino python works. They could get a contract.
Yeah.
What do we got?
Take it away, Jason.
Well, since you all asked, some trends deserve a comeback and others should have stayed in the lava lamp era. This is That Aged Well. The terms, phrases, fads, trends, and looks we once knew, some of which deserve nostalgia and others a full body cringe. And John, since he is probably the trendiest person that we all know, is that fair to say? I know John keeps a close eye on trends, especially back in those high school days. I didn't know John back then, but trendy, I'm sure. The Cosby sweaters, probably, that kind of stuff. No?
I never outdressed Paco. That
The
was
woven-
actually, Eric actually had me there. I was competing. I definitely wore the cable knit sweater with the gold necklace underneath and no shirt. I definitely did that. But there was a cardigan phase, but I was always following Eric, and that's the truth. And the only saving grace for me is that I didn't follow him with everything he tried.
The skinny
I was
ties.
the first one at Prairie Junior High to wear a tie as a regular accessory.
With the woven belt, the little woven. Like
Oh yeah, we had the woven belts. Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, they were Target. They were, or maybe Chess King if you could get them. But I mean, because Chess King would run those sales. Like they were like the 40% off retailer. They were like the Kohl's of their day. Like everything was always on sale, and you like couldn't tell the difference after a while.
Oh yeah, I got some nice jackets on sale at Chess King.
We know. Yeah,
I was too confused about Chess King. I need like a boys and girls, racks, and I just got so confused. So I never bought anything in there. So
I didn't know that we were going to go this deep into the truths of our lives on the show, on the pod here.
They
They
didn't have the Garanimal tags, so they
That's
could
right.
match the
That's
things.
right.
So like,
That's right.
What matches here? I don't know what matches.
That's
Where's
right.
the Garanimals.
That's right. That's right.
As much as Chess King was a staple of our teenage lives, the That Aged Well that I wanted to talk about.
What? Oh, we were doing a segment.
That's
We
a
were doing a
segment.
thing.
Yeah,
Are
no,
we done?
there was intro, and then we just kind of went off topic. So what I'm going to try to do now is bring it back to the segment. But maybe we could take a vote.
Let's see if it's real. If his bit is as good as the improv.
Yeah, let's see you reel this in for us, John.
Yeah, reel
Come on,
this in.
buddy.
All right. So in 1996, Procter & Gamble invents a substance called Olestra. It's a synthetic fat substitute. And Lay's picks it up in 98 and puts it in some potato chips called Wow. And so everybody goes and tries this. The sales soar, but pretty soon people are complaining of unpleasant side effects, which included abdominal cramping and anal leakage. And so the FDA put a warning label on it, and then the public perception went the other way. Lots of news stories, lots of jokes on late night TV. There are no studies that have ever shown long-term harm from the use of Olestra, but consumer backlash drove the sales down. Eventually, without much notice, Frito-Lay moved it into a separate thing called Lay's Light, and then by 2016, it was out of all of their substances. Olestra remains FDA approved in the United States, but it is illegal in Europe and Canada. And I'm proud to say I never tried the Olestra. I never had the abdominal cramps or the anal leakage, but I feel bad for all of the Americans who did.
So John reels us back in with a sophisticated fart joke. Nice job, boy.
Yeah, I think it may even be worse than that. I mean, I know there were anal leakage jokes on the late night programs, and
for sure,
it was just a weird moment for sure, with people trying to describe what happened to their guts with this substance that just didn't stick. It didn't get digested. It just moved on through, and that was supposed to be the advantage of it because it didn't cause you to absorb the carbs, but apparently was pretty nasty as it did its thing.
Okay, who here tried the Olestra then? I never did either. Ween?
No, I
Jocko?
avoided that stuff. No.
I tried a couple chips from a neighbor.
Just a couple chips, and I didn't inhale. I just had one chip, man. It was like a chip and a half, really. Like
I just wanted to see what the texture
of it.
I just wanted to see if the texture was the same.
I-
That's what I wanted.
I tried 2 chips, Your Honor.
Yeah. That is correct, Your Honor.
What did you think?
Texture was very much the same. It tasted very much the same. It wasn't too, greasy, or it wasn't weird. It seemed pretty normal. So pretty much a nothing burger for me.
So there's the twisted tale of Olestra. Jason, what do you got for that?
So I'm
age
assuming,
well?
well, and that's a trend we don't want to come back, right? Anal leakage, is that where that goes?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's a sarcastic use of that aged well.
Got
right?
it.
Yes.
Got it. Okay, that's all right. Just
To
checking.
clarify.
I thought
Not
maybe he was
arguing to bring-
pulling for a
but-
comeback here. Like, I need
Hey,
some.
man, the way things are going, if we're just going to close down the FDA, I guess none of this matters, right? This stuff could find its way into anything.
Yeah, that's a tough one, isn't it? Like, where does RFK Jr. stand on Olestra? Like,
That's right.
that'd be like rolling the dice because you don't know what that guy's going to think, right? Like,
Serve
is it
it to the
good? Is it
folks in
bad?
ICE custody, put it in baby food, right? Anything could happen.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, feed it to prisoners, like ICE prisoners, and the
you go.
alligator Alcatraz. There you go.
That's right.
Promoted
Right.
as weight loss program.
That's what I'm saying. Couldn't be worse than what's out there. Yeah.
Well, the trend that I think really could make a comeback, and I don't know, maybe it does in some way, but one of the things that I have such fond memories of from the 80s and 90s is the mixtape. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
And not because of the technology, obviously, because I don't really have to explain this to Ruben because he's even older than us, but like for the youngsters out there, we would have to take our albums or our cassettes and sit in front of a tape deck, and we'd have to hit record when our favorite song came on and record it onto a blank tape and make a mixtape of all of our favorite songs. And the technology, again, wasn't the point. It was the curation of it, right? And thinking about the order that the songs would come in and the messages that the songs would have, and who you're giving it to, and what are the subtle little undertones you want to project. You're giving it to a friend, giving it to a girl you like, you're giving it to, what are you doing with the message, and carefully selecting them. And I don't know, I was talking to my older son about this one time, and he could tell just there was something visceral about it, and he could tell that he's like, oh, I wish we still had the ability to do that. And I just don't think like doing a playlist on Spotify just isn't the same. It doesn't take the same care, and you don't have
effort.
and you got to draw.
Yeah.
You got to write their names on the little paper insert into the album, into the little cassette, and maybe do them in different colors. And the song title is in black, but the artist is in blue ink, and you're thinking about all this stuff. And I just don't know, like doing a Spotify playlist and saying, "Dude, check this out." I just don't think it's the same.
Well, the algorithm is going to take one song and give you a bunch of songs that are like that. And the beauty of the mixtape is like, I didn't use that. I used me. I used my own brain to decide what would be the songs that you would represent. I also made, made my own cassette tape labels and printed them off and cut them up and put them in with the cassette tapes. All my cassette tapes look the same. I had a brand.
Of course you did.
But I used to make like different tapes. So I'd make, or CDs. So I'd make like a disco one. I'd make one with songs from roller skating, from me roller skating. I love that. Remember Hans used to make us Led Zeppelin ones for our trips, and he put Led Zeppelin Do Crack on them, and Led Zeppelin. Yeah. Oh, so.
Well, and I think that was the fun too. Like when John was talking about the algorithm now kind of taking over, like we could find, like you'd sprinkle in the deep cut, right? That the algorithm would never find. And that was pure gold, is to find that deep cut that had some cool lyrics that no one had ever heard before. And you put that on your mixtape. I mean, that was quite an accomplishment. I don't know. It's one of those things that I don't think in the modern world will find any kind of parallel to.
And then you walked into You walked into One-Eyed Jake's in Iowa City your freshman year, and you started hearing this music that you had been collecting in high school, and you thought nobody else on the planet was even connected to, and all these
Yeah.
people, it not only was playing, but all these people knew it and understood it, and you're like, oh my God, I've arrived, or whatever, or like I was always part of this. I think that, it's hard to explain like that. The culture used to be in pieces. It didn't used to be everything everywhere all at once, right? And you used to feel like you were part of this tribe that had adopted its own part of the culture. And that's what you're talking about. That's the feeling you're missing. I feel like John Cusack did this in High Fidelity, right? That was kind of the thing that brought all of this out. And I think he's on the road talking about that right now. That movie itself is 25 years old, which is just impossible to process.
But like what you're describing, John, I think it's the curation, right? And you've got trusted people who you trust. Because I think about some of the mixtapes that like friends in high school gave to me, and I trusted them, and they found these really cool songs, and it kind of created this spider web of other things that you would discover. Like there was one song on that one mixtape by this one artist you'd never heard of, then suddenly you wanted to buy every album from that artist. And I just
Hey,
don't, I don't know. I just think that idea of having a trusted curator that you could get the stuff from and someone not some Spotify algorithm or whatever. I think that really, it's cool.
do you have any of them? You still have them?
I probably could dig them out somewhere. Yeah, not on hand. But I have I replicated one on a playlist, like on a online playlist one time.
Oh,
I found one
very
and I
cool.
sent it to the
That's
friend
a
who
great
gave it to
idea.
me. Yeah.
That's a great idea. Go back and find, if you can find the written version of the label, you can go recreate it on Spotify. I would never have thought of that. That's very cool. I have the CD versions, but not anything that goes back to tape. And I'm sure that's all disintegrated. Yes, folks, our entertainment media in electronic form disintegrated. It went away.
Boo. Boo. All right. So we ready for a whip around, boys?
Whip
All right.
around.
All right.
Bring me the whip.
All right. No doubt somebody's wondering where we are by now. Before we get called back to reality, let's stick and move with some quick takes, fast laughs, and then we're out. It's time for a good old-fashioned whip around.
Whip around.
All right, today's topic. Best album release in the 21st century. We'll start out with Jackson.
This was a tough one. I gotta admit, trying to think about those more like contemporary albums that really stick, ones that I turned to often in time. So I went back through and I was looking at things that I really enjoyed, and the one that really struck a chord with me that I tend to revisit often is called "The Sound of the Life of the Mind" by Ben Folds 5. It's the one that I've listened to in the 21st century the most, probably. Like because when I think about other favorite bands that I've got, they're all like a little more pre-2000, the ones that really stick. And that one, I shared it, maybe it's also like a bond with my kids. They love Ben Folds and stuff, and we listen to it all the time. But "The Sound of the Life of the Mind."
Oh, that's a good pick. That's a good pick. How about John?
And this might be a little bit of an eye roller, but it's the truth. It's Green Day's American Idiot. And if you go with the time frame in which it came out, the step up in artistry that was represented by the group, the emotional resonance of the lyrics, and just their ability to sort of pull it off, it was a really impressive thing when it happened. And I know Green Day's been played to death, and there's a certain element of being exhausted by what that is, and they've replicated it how many times. But when you first heard, what that series of songs was, including the little mini rock opera thing in there, I think anything that's been a Broadway show probably shouldn't go on this list, but damn, that's a good album. So that's what I'm sticking with. Also something I related to my kid saw him in Cedar Rapids, Iowa in 2005, and so that's it. That is a good memory that moves into the 21st century, and there aren't a ton of those. This was also hard for me.
I almost picked that one.
Yeah, me too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was on that was like a close number 2 for me.
Oh,
Yep.
wow.
Mhm.
Yep.
That'd have been fun if we all came in on the same one. By the way, that was not on my list.
Oh, let's hear yours.
All right.
You know what he's going to say. Why don't I do it for him?
Yeah, no, do it, John. Let's go.
It's Yankee Hotel Foxtrot by Wilco, which features a large dose of glockenspiel and some of the most erudite lyrics ever to be put to paper.
It's not, though. Dang, it's not. To your full disappointment, it's not Wilco. And by the way, I like Sky Blue Sky better by just marginal. But this isn't about Wilco. This is about our favorite albums from the 21st century. So I go from 2004, The Killer's Hot Fuss.
Nice.
That is an album,
Nice.
As Jason was talking about, that I go back to all the time. You know, when that thing came out, it had such a great vibe, such a really, they're the first ones I heard in a long time try to do some echoing or nod back to like 80s rock, and they just nailed it. And that's an album that I love, and actually my kids have gotten to know, and I really have enjoyed the Killers over time. I think they've fallen off, unfortunately. I think their last album they kind of came back a little bit, but that's mine. That's it. That's the list.
So we saw them at Valère Ballroom. Help me out with this. It was about 2007.
Yeah,
sounds right. Second album.
It was on the
Sam's Town
album, right?
Yeah,
it was
third album.
Town.
Yep,
But
Sam's Town.
still, it was the old Valère with the terrible ceiling, and you could only fit maybe 500 people in there. Maybe it was a little more.
Oh,
maybe
man, we fit more than that. And remember, it was like in August or something. I came out of there like I walked out of a shower. It was so hot in there.
Yep, nasty.
Yep.
But a great show. That's one of those shows where you're like, I was there, I did it, right? That it was early in their career, wouldn't have missed it,
Early in their career, we can say we saw the Killers in this little old ballroom in Iowa.
Yep. So my pick is White Stripes Elephant.
Nice.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah,
you start out with Seven Nation Army and you just rock on from there.
Go. Yeah.
Love it. Yeah. First track, boom. First time you hear it, you're like, damn.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
White Blood Cells was my number 3 pick.
Yeah.
I like White Blood Cells a little better than Elephant, I gotta say.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm in Love with a Girl is probably top 5 song for me of all time.
Yes.
Is it possible that Jack White is still underrated? Is that possible?
Yes.
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 Because he is still cranking out amazing music to this day.
Yeah.
Did you see that he just finished his tour of all the Major League Baseball stadiums? That he was going to go to one in each city, and he just finished it about 2 weeks ago.
Oh, really? Huh.
Yeah, that's a guy I'd like to hang out with for an hour, I mean, right?
He would just say we're idiots, but, that's fine.
Well, and also someone I've never seen live. Have any of you guys seen them live? Him or White Stripes?
No.
Yeah, I'd love to. That's like near the top for me.
And he's never come through here, as far as I know.
No, I know. He sings about Wichita and then stiffs us.
Yeah. So he never comes through Iowa. So, all right. Well, we're going to consider that closed, and we're officially whipped. The swear jar amount to benefit American Cancer Society stands at $14 after one show. Let's roll the closing credits, please.
Thank you for listening to Connect More. I'm the producer. Please subscribe and like this podcast because it's my only chance of getting paid for this gig. Connect More is a product of Pan Tiger LLC and is hosted by Brian Danielson, Eric Van Lanker, Jason Nisus, and John Hedgecoth. Connect More is edited by me and Jocko. The showrunners are Jax, Hedge, and Weenus. Theme music written and recorded by Ryan Veeder. Cover art designed by Leon Golden. Musical director is Evil. Legal liaison is Brian. Lead writers are John and Eric. Runner-up writers are Jason and Captain Danielson. Publication coordinator is Jax. Special thanks to GVC, Aaron, Miss Roper, and Yoko. Visit us at connectmore.com.